So, started agency 4 months ago. Is making 30,000 a month. Of that, around 28,000 is profit. Working with 9 clients and setting around 30 meetings a month. That's what we're going to cover in today's student interview. That's where you're going to find out how to do. So, with no further ado, I'll roll into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another student interview. We're here today with Johnny, who's killing it, serving realtors. He is working with 9 clients at the moment, pulling in 29K a month?
Correct, yeah.
29K a month with like 98% profit margins or something crazy. I mean, right now you said it's just you and a VA, right?
Correct, yeah, just me and a VA, that's it.
Perfect. So, yeah, also off camera, you told me that you started your agency, like January, like end of December, January. So it's only been 4 months?
Yeah, most people ask me like, hey man, when did you start your business? And I tell them January, and they said, this year? And I'm like, yeah, I started this year, man.
So, yeah, I definitely want to sink my teeth into that. So, first of all, how'd you get into agency life? And yeah, what's your background?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say congratulations on all your success. I've been following you on YouTube and everything, and I just want to say I appreciate you doing, like building schools and stuff like that, giving back to community, everything that you're doing. And you're at such a young age. How old are you now?
Just turned 20 a couple months ago.
Turned 20. I'm turning 28 this year. That's crazy, dude. You're doing crazy things right now. That's awesome.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
But hey, look, this is about you. This is about you. I want to get into your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I have some of your time, so I actually want to be able to speak with you. But yeah, I started. The reason why I got into this was because my family and I are real estate investors. I've always wanted to do real estate. That's always been my goal, and it still is my goal. And I ran into a problem, which was finding people that wants to sell the property off market before anyone else. So that was the main problem, right? So I just basically went online and YouTube, just went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and it ran into your course. And it's just kind of like a fit, right? It was just one of those things that was like, okay, this is a skill that I can learn that's definitely going to help me with what I'm doing. And so when I joined the course, I took the course, I watched everything, and I just kind of basically niched down. First, I started as with a chiropractor and an insurance agent, and that didn't go so well, just because I was not fully invested into those niche. So I didn't really wanted to
I was about
learn.
to say, any reason why you decided to go for those two? Because considering your character and your love for real estate as well as your long-term horizon, I mean, that seems just like from the get-go such an obvious one for you.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't even think of that. It was just like one of those things that people are like, hey, you should try dentists and chiropractors and orthodontists and stuff like that. So I just posted Facebook posts asking, hey, I'm doing this, and this. Anyone need this type of service? And then a chiropractor hit me up. One of my friend that owns a chiropractic clinic, and then another friend that was an insurance agent. So I just went ahead and worked with them, just kind of get some experience and learn how to do this. And through that trial and error, right? Mostly just trial and then error. But I figured out that real estate was something that I really wanted to pursue, and it's just going to be within my knowledge range. So that's why I went at it like just full speed right from the beginning, right after my 2 clients.
So where did you get your initial knowledge on how to actually run ads for real estate agents? Because right now you're still managing all 9 client campaigns yourself.
Yeah. Where I learned, so, I just learned most of it on YouTube, from asking people from your course, mostly just setting everything up. It's mostly from your course, and then just basically through trial and error mostly.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't come into it with any prior background knowledge
Of how to run a social media
how
marketing
to
business.
no, as in like how to run advertising
Oh
or how to
yeah,
run the ads for your clients.
not
Oh
at all,
wow,
not
okay.
not a slight bit. Yeah.
Okay. I mean that's the thing with, as I said, I get people asking me all the time, oh, you recommend everyone to do local businesses initially, but you do e-commerce and info product clients. Like, why?
Yeah.
And it's just simply because of that, which is, to be honest, local lead gen clients are so easy compared to e-commerce businesses and info product businesses. So look, you have signed 9 clients in 4 months. Very curious. Out of those 9 clients, how many meetings did you need to set in order to make that happen?
Oh man, people think people ask me that question, and they think I'm setting nine appointments. I'm taking all 9 just because I'm posting it, right? And people was like, oh wow, you're doing this so fast. But I've taken at least over 100 calls, to be honest. Um,
There we go. That's the
I
fucking
tap
answer I
into
wanted.
volume. Yeah, man, it was like back to back to back, putting myself out there basically. But those calls were grind. It was a grind, man.
Yeah. It's about getting those reference experiences in, and it's about just like to be honest, when you first start your agency, 80% of it, until you get to a point where you're at, where you're making roughly 30K a month, and now it's time for you to like put your business owner hat on and like really, go, okay, I'm building a machine here. I'm not, I'm not just a one-man band. It really is just about setting meetings. That's by like 80% of it is prospecting. And prospecting and setting meetings is far more important than sales, because as you can see, if you get 90 to 100 meetings, you're going to end up closing 9. Like that's a given. So look, you're saying meetings at quite a high volume. I think that actually, that's a good amount of meetings. You're setting around 25 per month. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, totally. I was doing like two to 3 appointments a day, two a day or something like that. Yeah.
So how have you managed to set so many meetings, or what's your kind of go-to?
Organic mostly. I have not done any Facebook or any ads for myself yet. Mostly organic. I tried cold email. That conversion was like a little bit low, so I just basically went LinkedIn and Facebook, mostly Facebook groups, LinkedIn outreach. Facebook has been the most of my clients. Just what's the word? Client acquisition. Mostly it's Facebook right now. LinkedIn, I do get good conversion on that, but people on there doesn't turn into appointments as much as Facebook for me.
So
because
first of all, how are you finding realtors? And second, what's the initial message you're sending? What's the content of it?
Yeah. So my trick, I'll tell everyone here, my trick is I just add people on LinkedIn, right? Just because you can search by jobs on LinkedIn, and I just literally copy and paste their name onto Facebook. So now I have those people on Facebook. And realtors, there's a vast amount of realtors out there. So the volume was there for me. So that was the little trick that I use. But it's simple as me literally messaging the real estate agent saying, hey, my name is Johnny Vo. I see that you're also in the real estate industry, and I am also, would you like to connect? And then most of the time, 90%, 95% of the time, they say, yes, let's connect. And then I go through the process of building a rapport, and then jump onto appointment calls when I see it's a good fit.
Yeah, especially with realtors, just because if someone tries to connect with me, like I am the anti-networker. Like I disdain networking in like the tradition. Like if someone was like, hey, we should connect, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. Like
Yeah.
I am, I said, I'm the anti-networker. I'm so specific with my networking. And for me, my networking strategy has always been like, go do something incredible, and then people want to network with you, and you can just get people coming to you. But realtors are literally the definition of networkers. So like realtors, if you so look, realistically, if you sent that message to, as I said, an e-com owner, they're not going to respond to just, hey, we should connect. But realtors are thinking that when you're connecting with them, you could be a potential client to them. You could be a potential, realtors will take any opportunity to connect with anyone. So yeah, that's why that works so well, specifically with realtors.
Yeah, 100%. People ask me, people in other niche ask me like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you saying?" And I tell them like, "Hey, this this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm saying. It might not work for your niche just because real estate is just a whole different niche, right? It just everything is different about it. The way the exactly as you said, yep, 100%. It's so much easier to get them to speak with you. However, obviously you have to do a lot of work in order to convert those into book appointments and then sales.
So the other question that I have for you is, how are you setting up your client retainers? Are you doing just base at the moment, base plus performance? What's the sort of setup, and what's sort of the average retainer you're charging your clients?
Retainers right now, my first 3 clients I charged 3,000. But I was providing like lead generation, follow-up system, and an ISA team, and that was just I saw a little bit of the disconnect there with the ISA team, so I just kind of like leaned down a little bit and just provided lead generation and follow-up system, and that's all the agents really needed.
So
And
what is the follow-up system?
so basically, it's just basically email and text message drip campaigns for
When you
however
say
long.
when you say drip, as in like, are we talking about drip the software, or how do you lay it out?
Yeah. So what I use is I use Go High Level. It's a CRM, and just basically I literally create a whole entire drip campaign. Uh, based on whatever the campaign is for the real estate agents.
Awesome. And is that something that you can duplicate for every single real estate agent, or do you have to redo the drip sequence?
Yeah. Once it's created, it's not even copy and paste. It's literally just it's copy and paste. Yeah, it's literally copy and paste. Yeah.
So most of your clients right now, you're charging through, because I know you had a higher ticket one, a much higher ticket one. So you want to touch on that?
Yeah, for sure. So I closed this one. This one blew up the couple groups. Couple people messaged me. A lot of people messaged me actually right after this. But it was a $9,000 client. Basically, he wanted to run 2 type of campaigns. One for to generate leads for his brokerage firm. It's a brokerage owner, so he had the money to spend and he knew exactly what he wanted. And then the second campaign was to recruit agents into his firm. So I just basically told him, hey, for per campaign is this and this. And then he's just like, okay, let's move forward. And I was like, oh man, it was just like one of those things. It was an inbound lead. So it's already an easy sell, right? And then he just knew exactly what he wanted. And I just show him exactly what I can do for him on the demo call after the discovery call. And it was just a go. It was just like that after. Obviously, there's, authority building and showing my result testimonials and stuff like that, but it was just as simple as posting something and then someone sees it and they come to you and they see this is what you're doing, you're legit, you know what you're talking about, and it's just an easy sell from there.
So you're starting, and this is something we talk about quite often in copy paste agency, you're starting to build a bit of a niche authority personal brand where you're getting inbound leads.
I'm trying to, yeah. That one was just like, that one was a new one for me. And then I got another one right after it from just posting things and people finding me. So it's a pretty new thing for me. But yeah, that's just something that definitely is a path that I'm trying to go down right now at this point in my business.
So because you're finding all these leads on LinkedIn and then you're transferring them over on Facebook and you're actually friending them on Facebook and you guys are starting a message per month, per month in terms of your Facebook friends, how much do you think you're growing in terms of like actual qualified prospects that could potentially turn into clients for your agency?
So my VA we can add about 25 to 30 people a day on Facebook and LinkedIn. So about out of those 25 people, probably 5 turn into like quality leads that actually turn into something. And then obviously the conversion grows after I build more relationship, right? So the person might not become a client after the first day of that month, but then they might become a client on the last day of that month. So conversion is about 5 clients out of 25. That's a good a quality lead for me.
And with you and your clients, are you finding that you can, once you actually get them on a call, are you finding that you can one call close them, or is it usually a two call close?
So I tried one call when I first started, and that was going okay. And then I tried the two call, and it just turned out a little bit better
Mm-hmm.
conversion for me. Just because the first call, I tell them, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. The first call was me just to get to know them, to know why they're doing it, and their goals and their dreams. So then, what the second call and the demo calls becomes a lot easier to sell, and that's
Mm-hmm.
been my goal.
Awesome. So you're splitting up that call into two sections. The first one is really just to build rapport, get to know about them, their business, and then you frame the second call as a demo call.
Yeah, the demo call, I basically tell them, hey, let's jump on the call. Let me put everything together, and then let me show you exactly what we do and how we do it for you, and how we can help you reach that revenue goal that we talked about. So then once they jump on the second call, it gives me a little bit more of a commitment from them. So now it gives me even more of like a strong point to sell from, right?
Mm. And how many? What's the bleed through from first call until second? Would you say?
What do you mean?
As in, like, how many of those people who are jump on that first call actually end up jumping on that second call as well?
I would say like 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 50% or more. The more I'm building my business, the more I see it's converting better. Just
Mm.
because I can show them right after the on the discovery call, I show them results and testimonials and case studies and stuff like that. So they're super excited to jump on the second call. So it's been growing in percentage.
And is there anything that you're doing to actually increase that show up rate on that second call? Like, do you send any reminders before, emails, reminders, SMS reminders, anything like that?
Yeah. So I do send email drip basically, up till that day of the call. And I usually only schedule like 2 to 3 days out from the first call
Mm.
to help with that conversion.
Mm.
So, and I get a verbal commitment from them right after the discovery call. I tell them, hey, the next call that we jump on, make sure you have everyone that is the decision maker on in your business. And I like if your wife has to jump on, what do you think she would say? Like after we talked about everything, and then they usually say, like, yeah, this sounds good. Let me talk to her, and we'll jump on the next call. And I just tell them, okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and send you a reminder, a day out, and then 24 hours, and then like an hour out, just to make sure we jump on the call, just because I want to respect your time and I hope you respect mine. And that's like the
Mm.
strategy I use.
Mm. That's awesome. So that's gives us a little bit more background in terms of setting meetings, and also hopefully for everyone watching, this should set a standard that, like, I mean, I tell people all the time, like, if you're having less than 3 meetings a week, like, you need to know that you're fucked. Like, some people wait 3 months. Like, some people will go 3, 4 months and they're like, oh man, I haven't had any clients. And it's like, no, unless you've had at least 3 meetings a week, unless you have at least 3 meetings a week, then you should don't wait until the result. Look at your actions, and your actions will dictate the result. And I don't need to tell you, we don't need to wait 3 months for me to know that, look, if you've only had 1 meeting or 2 meetings the past 2 weeks, you're on a trajectory of failure. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, hopefully this should set a standard for everyone that, look, you should be setting 20 to 40 meetings, however many meetings you have, averaging around 25, 30. Now let's talk about service delivery, because you're working on 9 client campaigns at the moment. I'm a little surprised that you haven't brought on someone full time. Or first of all, what is your plans in terms of service delivery? Because you mentioned off camera.
My plan in the future, or going into the future,
Yeah, going
for
forward.
service delivery. Yeah. I'm just gonna white label it to someone that kind of been with me from the very beginning of my agency. He's also owned a agency of his own, but he's able
Mhm.
to take on my clients just because he has systemized everything. So then when the client comes on, and he also hired people in order to do the fulfillment on his end
Mhm.
also, so he can take on some of my clients. So that's my plan for right now.
Out of curiosity, why did you decide to do that rather than just bringing on a full-time team member yourself?
Oh, I am. I'm I'm in the process of just right now. That's my plan, like right now. But I am in the process of training one of my good friend, uh, because he, I want to help people at the end of the day, right? And he's my one of my really good friend, and he's taking your course. He's taking your course. I have him like literally watch everything just because I want him to understand what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I'm teaching him exactly what I do and stuff like that. So then that's exactly what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring him on, and and then just we'll go from there. My first employee or my second employee, I guess.
Uh-huh. All right, that's awesome. So let's see, you're working with 9 clients, making 29K a month. Once you bring on this full-time person, I'm assuming they'll cost you 4, 5K, no more than that to begin with, at least.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you're still gonna have very juicy margins, like 80-ish% for sure, 80
yep.
to 85% margins. Um, how are you planning on scaling this year?
How am I planning on scaling? So I want to be able to. I want to go over your everything that you teach and just basically systemize everything. Just because like I've literally just started in January, but I want to be able to. I want to systemize everything. Exactly how you teach. Basically, create videos, make a transition, onboarding, and everything a smooth transition. So then I can utilize paid advertising in order to scale.
Mhm. Awesome. So paid ads are the main form in which you're looking to scale.
Yeah, I mean, I still will have my VA do outreach and then train her a little bit more on how to actually turn those conversation into book appointments, and then I can go ahead and remove myself from that, and then I can
Mhm.
focus on taking calls or taking calls.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So my last question is, you mentioned that you're into real estate. So when you started SMMA, did you view it as a cash flow business in order to parlay into real estate? Like, how do the two interact?
Yeah, man, you got it on the head right there. That's literally
Mhm.
that's how I viewed it. It was a stepping stone for me, or it is still a stepping stone for me to a transition into real estate. I mean, like this business, I want to be able to grow it, however big it can grow. But at the end of the day, real estate investing is something that I'm gonna put at least 40% of my effort into.
Mhm.
Hopefully that answer your question.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly how you, like, that's the thing about having an agency is, as I said, we don't talk in revenue because revenue, or we still mention revenue, but the number that we focus on is profit, because in this business, revenue doesn't really fucking matter. It doesn't really do much for us. What matters is, hey, if you're making, in your case, 28,000 a month profit, and every single month you can put down a down payment towards a new single family home, like,
Yes.
that's where within a couple of years you're seriously at some fuck you money and some like actual, going from like rich to like wealth. And
Yeah.
that's what that's something that we focus on a lot in copy-paste agency as well. Like, that's why I've been sitting liquid for a couple of years now,
Yeah.
just waiting for the moment to pounce and deploy my capital. And as I said, like, that's the beauty of having an agency, in my opinion, is the fact that, like, you're not going to have a month where you have to, with a great agency or Gadzhi, the e-commerce clothing line, like, there's months where I have to deploy a large amount of money into like research and development of this new product or this new or stock or this that. With an agency, that never really like, with an agency you never have some unexpected huge thing. It's like it runs like clockwork, and that's also very important if you want to take that money and you want to go invest it elsewhere. And the best part is, because I always tell people, one of the most important things is getting 30,000 in the bank, and then getting 50,000 or 25,000 in the bank, then getting 50,000 in the bank, and then getting 100,000 in the bank. And just having that, just having that liquid cash in your bank, having that safety, that war chest, it gives you so much confidence. But the beautiful thing is, in another business where you may need 1 million or 2 million in the bank, to give you a good enough run rate, because expenses are so high with a agency, you never really need more than, to be honest, like 25,000, 50,000 in the bank. and you can deploy that capital elsewhere into investments, because with an agency, you're never going to be in the red. It's not going to happen. You wouldn't run an agency if it was in the red, or at least I would hope you wouldn't. So yeah, I mean, that's really, really how you take this incredible cash flow business. As I said, the main beauty of it is just the margins and the consistency of it. And you take that money and you turn it into some real generational wealth type shit.
Yeah, exactly, man. You nailed it on the head right there. That's always been my down the line goal. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to obviously walk away from the business eventually, even the real estate, you know, so like building that now when you have the ability to utilizing, you know, your agency is such a huge help in order to get you whatever you want to be. Even if you just want to create an agency and then step away from it and let that create a little bit, you know, like some cash flow for you, you can literally do that and not, you know, even worry for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. All you can do is you can just build the systems, and then you can have a general in 3 years down the line where your agency will be making 100,000 to 150,000 a month profit, cash collected. I have zero doubts about. But let's even be more conservative. In 3 years, it's making 100K a month cash collected. You go ahead and you have your general manager who's getting paid a decent $5,000 a month salary, but then they're also getting 10% of the agency profits. So now, you know, if you're paying someone 15K, you know, between 5K a month salary and 10K a month in performance or profit share, they're going to run your business and they're going to run it pretty streamlined. And you can just kind of go focus on your other shit. So that's, as I said, that's what I love about the agency, is just like it gives you so much freedom and flexibility in life, and you can step away from it, or you can scale it, or you can. I have people I talk to in the student interview who are like, I wouldn't even know what to do with more than 10K a month. Like I got it. It's set. It's done. I got my system, and I'm having tons of fun in Bali. That's not the life I want to live personally. I could tell that's not the life you want to live. But as I said, it's beautiful. Whereas with other businesses, when you build a brand or you build, like, for example, my education company, I couldn't just step away from it tomorrow. Like it's a blood sucking leech, trust me. Whereas the agency, I could step away from it. Like I'm not the face of it, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I mean, 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you can make, you've already made your agency your little bitch, but you can make it even more of your cash cow.
Yeah, man, you can even sell it, right? Like, you can literally sell your agency, right? Like, literally, you can do so many things. There's so many avenue that you can take when you have an agency up and running, generating the green. Like, there's just so much possibility that opens up for you. I mean, like, for example, give me the chance to speak with freaking Iman. You know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, that's literally crazy to me. I don't know if you understand this, but like seeing you on here, like every single like day, because your ad is attacking me, and it's following me everywhere. And I see the power that social media marketing is, you know what I mean? And it's just like crazy to give me opportunity to speak people, like you, or people that are like super successful, and just learn from them alone. That's worth more than the agency, to be honest. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, man. Well, as I said, like that's why I enjoy with these student interviews. I like getting a little more, I like getting more nuanced. I like getting in someone's head. And yeah, as I said, like these are conversations I have with people off camera anyways. So it's super awesome when I can catch you on camera. And as I said, hopefully get out of some of the students what's working for them and their little secret tricks and hacks and whatnot. So
yeah. I mean, like, some secrets, I give most of like everything that I know to like students or people that are working in my industry. Like, I literally give it to them, you know what I mean? Like, I want to help people at the end of the day, just because when you help people, you're going to get so much more in return than you think, that you're giving away, you know what I mean? So that's something I strive to do also within the course, or within your community.
Yeah, no, and we appreciate it and we see it. So yeah,
but it's
dude.
just crazy. Like, when people ask me like, hey, Johnny, can you help me with this, and this? And I'm like, dude, I literally started in January. Okay. like literally, I literally started January. Let me wrap my head around this, and then I can go ahead and maybe like show you a few things, or maybe say that I'm like a mentor or anything like that. Right. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is really crazy that, as you said, I mean, you're 4 months into it, so you're still stumbling and falling and succeeding, but
No, trust me,
it'll
I'm
be,
still falling and stumbling. Yeah. No, for sure. But learning is basically the key to all of it, right? Just continue getting yourself up and just keep learning and book appointments and take appointments, literally.
Awesome. Well, dude, I want to thank you for your time. This has been awesome. So yeah, really appreciate it.
All right.